for the recording to start. Once again, please make sure you join our Google Classroom. All right, the recording has started. So we're going to go ahead and get started. One last chance, write down this code that you see on your screen to join the Google Classroom. And so you can put your comments or questions and also receive credit. So in today's session, we're just going to keep it very basic. We're going to cover these 5 topics. First of all, how to access your NEWSela account through Clever. You have to be a reading teacher, or you have to have a reading class in your Skyward in order to access this. So if you're having trouble accessing, then submit a help desk ticket and we can see what the issue is or work on getting you access to that. We're just gonna, the second thing we're gonna do is look for articles and companion questions that go along. I'll show you the writing prompt and the questions that go with the articles. We're specifically gonna look at a 3rd grade lesson plan today and find that exact article, but you can search and find other articles to your liking. Then we're going to assign those articles to classes. Then I'm going to walk you through how students will access. And then lastly, we'll go back to the teacher view and look at how you see the student responses and their grades. I'm going to do one last time for the Google Classroom. And I'm going to check my attendance here. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so a good launching place is the Temple ISD website, especially when you're talking to parents to find the Clever portal. So underneath students, even if you're a teacher, you can still access it this way. You may have it bookmarked, but it's always a good idea to direct parents this way, or maybe when you're working from home, that you can go to the students and then choose Clever portal. And on this screen, we're going to log in with our G-Cloud. Yep, we're going to log in with our G-Cloud. And the section that we're looking for is this instant logon application section. Here is our NEWSela button. Now you may see this same button under middle school learning resources or high school learning resources, but that button may not connect to the account that we've created with Clever. So I highly recommend that you use the one that's under this instant login applications. Now you may have been prompted with a question about like this. And if you do have this on your screen, go ahead and click no, because you don't have a previous one, unless you have created one with a personal account. And in that case, you would have to know the username and password, or the email and the password that you created with that. I would imagine that most of you are going to click no on this screen, and then it'll take you right into the screen that you see right here. Now, right away, it looks like there's a lot of stuff on that screen. But some areas I want to direct you to is, first of all, this search. Let me zoom my screen in a little bit so it'll be a little easier to see. So we do have a search button that we will use to find that article that's on the 3rd grade lesson plan. Underneath your binder, you probably see a list of your classes. And more than likely, you have a more than I do. Mine is just a demo class. but whatever your reading classes are probably listed here. If you're departmentalized and you teach 4 sections of reading or 5 sections, then I'm sure they're all listed here. If you're self-contained and you just have 1 reading class, you may just have 1 class listed there. To see the students in your class, you can just click on that class name. And then up at the top, we have assignments, activity feed, reading summary. And if you click on reading summary, it'll show you a list of your students that you have right there. So let's take a look at this 3rd grade lesson plan. And this is from the elementary remote. Yes, sir. Huh? What?
What do we do?
I can't help right now, bub. I'm on a training.
But we don't know what video to watch.
Can you bring me a computer, then I can show you? Sorry, learning from home. Anyway, this is from the remote learning 3rd grade. And as I scroll down to Friday, there's an activity listed here that tells me students should read NEWSela's How to Save Money Like a Teenager, and then students must complete questions 1 through 3 to earn their grade. So we're going to find this exact article. You may have one differently, but the search process is still the same. So again, I'm back on my NEWSela homepage, and this is where I'm going to use that search button. And so I'm going to click where that hand lens is, and it's an easy little search screen. And that title was How to Save Money as a Teenager. Forgot the N. And I do get a lot of articles here, but this first one that appears up has the same exact title. And I'm going to click on this article, and then I can see some of the features. So here's what the students would be reading. But what I want to draw your attention to is up here in the right-hand corner where you see this 870L. There's a drop down where I can change my reading level. Okay, come here so you can see this.
Feelings.
Do you see where it says notifications?
Yeah.
Click there and it tells you what their assignments are.
Okay.
And then same thing for that one.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I'm back. And so the students can change the reading level, and you can watch how that text changes. So this is 560L. I'm guessing that's Lexile. But as you can see, this paragraph right here under making money, and I change it to 960L. I mean, it totally changed my article. Up here's the making money. And so I get a lot more reading depending on that level.
Can you do the first one or the second one?
Both.
Okay.
So in this case, I'm ready to assign it because I know this is the article that is in the lesson plan. But if there was a different article that this isn't the one that you were looking for, then of course you can go back to the search bar, you can try again, or you can just click the back arrow until you get back to your search and find a different article to use. I'm going to use this one out of the 3rd grade lesson plan. Now on the right-hand side, there's a box that has the word activities in it. And when you click on it, it expands out. Yeah. Okay, let's do a little refresh. There it is. Now it came out. And so for this passage, I have a writing prompt and I have a quiz. So as a teacher, I can look at the writing prompt and I can see, and the students will see this part right here that I've highlighted in blue. And it tells them to write a paragraph, and then the students will have a box. And I'll show you that in a little bit when we go into a student mode. Now there is an edit button here where you could edit this prompt. So if you don't really like the wording of it, you could change it and then save it. But I'm going to do this back arrow now, and I'm going to go to the quiz and see the different questions that are in here. So the students will also get these 4 questions, and you can go through them and do the answers and check. And then there's another question. Oh, that's at the bottom. So I can go next, and I can see here's the second question that the students will have. And I can review, as the teacher, I'm able to review all these questions. Now, it doesn't look like there's an edit anywhere in here, but if there's something you don't like, I guess you could click this report, this question, and tell them that the problem that you have with it. The 4th question is right there. And then the student, when you assign this article, these questions and the prompt also go with it. So I'm good to go. I know this is the article that I want, and so we're going to assign it. And so what I did is I clicked this down arrow, or this arrow at the end of the circle, and then I chose create an assignment. And then here's our title. I could give it some more text if I wanted to. Under classes, this is where I'll pick my class. I only have 1 class. If you have more classes, you can put a check mark for each one of who's going to get that assignment, and they'll all show up in that list. The text level, I would leave it on NEWSela recommended. Sorry. Come on. What is it?
I can't get it.
What is our internet login?
Harrison's is working. But mine isn't.
Yours is still going. Well, you're up around the battery. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Can you see if Mommy can help you? Or see if you can watch her, Harrison? All right, sorry, I'm back. For text level, we're just going to leave it under NEWSela recommended. That's just an easiest setting to do. The next section is under instructions, and you can give your students instructions, read this whole passage, do the activities that are also assigned, do the writing prompt. You can give them whatever instructions that you want. Here's the article that will go with it. I would assume you could assign more articles here, but I'm not sure. That's something somebody can experiment for me and report back. That's pretty much it for the settings. Then we're going to do assign in the upper right-hand corner. And now we have our assignment here. Here's an assignment from yesterday when I was practicing that's still in there, and you can see one student has viewed it and answered the questions. So how about we go in as a student now? All right, so I'm going to move over to a student account. And same thing, student's going to go to Clever. And if they just go to the TISD website, that's an easy place to start. Got it. And then under students, we find the button for the Clever portal. Students will do their G-Cloud. And once again, be very specific to let the students know which NEWSela button they push, because there's a chance that there could be a section called middle school resources or high school resources, which has that same button, but it won't necessarily put them into the account that was created by Clever. So students right here, we're going to go instant login and then do the blue NEWSela. And notice when the student gets right in, their screen does not look like the teacher's where it has all those articles. The first thing that shows up is their assignments, and it does let them know which one is the new one. So the student will click on that assignment, and then they will open the article. and the student does have the ability to change their level. Now, if you use the locked method or the text level, it will lock them into a certain level. But here's some of the things that the students can do. They can select some text, and notice this shows up, this annotation shows up on the right-hand side. They can hashtag their paragraphs, and they can save it. And you, on the teacher, you'll be able to see these hashtags or these annotations as well. They can use different colors. So those are some of the things they can do with the articles. Then the students have their activities here on the right-hand side. Notice they have their writing prompt and their quiz. So here's the writing prompt, and then here's where they will type their response. So giving it a nice short one. So we're going to submit that response. And then they can go back and do the 4, wow, that was loud, sorry. The 4 questions. And this will give them immediate feedback of whether, I mean, after they answer all 4, it will let them know. So I'm going to pick A and do next. I'll pick B this time. D sounds good. And then I'll pick D again. And then boom, right away it tells me I got 2 out of 4 correct. It tells me which ones I got correct and which ones I got incorrect. Let's check out the review question 1 link. So it shows me what I picked, and it shows me what the correct answer was. And then I'm going to X out of that. So that's about it on the student end. So they have the select the text, put an annotation, and then they have their activities. Now the students, I'm sure, looking at this, can go into different topics and pick articles. And then they can do the activities and submit things that are not assigned to their teacher. So let's see where that one comes from. So let's see, A. So this is an article that was not assigned that I did on my own. None out of 4, darn. But there's no way to submit, so my teacher may not find out what I did right there. Let's see another one. Then we're going to submit this response, and then we're going to see on the teacher page if we can see this part. I'll put some annotations here. And I just have to remember what this was, volunteers. All right, so that's kind of it from the student side. Remember, we're keeping it very basic. So now let's go back to my teacher view, and I'm just going to give it a refresh. And here's my assignment on April 1st. I have 1 student that is completed it. And so I can click on this, very similar to Google Classroom. And here I get some detailed view. So here's the article that this student did yesterday, and here's the one that they did today. It shows their score. And then here's their writing prompt. The program lets you know that you need to grade that. So here's their response, and then you can give it a grade of 1, 2, 3, or 4. So this one's pretty weak, so we're going to go ahead and turn that in. And then from here, I'm just going to click on this name of this article again, and it takes me right back to this home landing page. It also says there was 2 annotations, so I'm thinking I can click here where that number is and check their passage and what they annotated, and yep, there's those 2 annotations that I made. It also lets me know who has not viewed the article yet. And then I'm going to change, this is the section for articles, and I'm going to switch over to where it says students. And so here is this student and the articles that they've worked on in the same details. It's just divided it up by students instead of articles. Now, remember the one article I did on my own. And so let's find that one. Let's click back on demo class. Or maybe not. I think I'm going to have to go to binder and then check my class. And let's see if there's a reading summary. Maybe a reading skills. And some, I was just curious on the student side if I could look it in. So let's go see what activity feed is. Oh, look right here. Here it is. Here's my 3 because I recognize that picture. So this says A. I'm not sure why, but it said they submitted an article. Okay, it tells me that student read it at this level, and there's an annotation here. And then here's my quiz, but they got none out of 4. And then there's, oh wait, I had my writing prompt. I did not see that one, so I didn't submit that one. The writing prompt did not get submitted. So it looks like just the multiple choice was submitted. All right, so I'm going to go back to my class. Oh, nope, I'm going to go back to my binder and then choose my class. And then here's my assignment again. So this is the article that I assigned. So I would say starting out, definitely assign articles. And in the instructions, prompt the students to do the 4 questions that go with the article and also the writing prompt, and make sure they submit those. Let's check a look at our classroom. And one comment to share the link. I sure will. I will put the recorded live stream in this link, but I'm not seeing any other questions. So just to review here, the end, kind of what we covered today. We did access NEWSela through our Clever account. We used the search feature to find specific articles, and we found the companion question and writing prompt that goes with it. We assigned that article to our class or classes. We took a look at how students access it and the tools that the students can use. They can annotate, and they can annotate with 4 different colors. They can include text with their annotations. They can answer the 4 questions, and the students can respond to the writing prompt. Students also have the ability to find other articles to read on their own. And the last thing we looked at was how the grading, how you find the grading. How do you see what the students' answers were and what their writing response was, and if they made any annotations. So I hope this helped. Like I said, we're just going to keep it very, very basic today. And one last thing, if you are joining us today and you did not sign up for the Google Classroom, please write this code down and join our classroom so I can give you credit in Eduphoria for attending. I want to thank you for your time, and I'm not seeing any other questions in our stream. So enjoy your afternoon. If you have any other questions or concerns, reach out to your campus ITS and we'll be happy to assist you, or you can put in a help desk ticket and then that will get assigned to the correct person. Have a great afternoon, and that is all.